G'day guys, I just thought I'd chuck a little clip in, a little message before the video gets underway. So this video was all filmed yesterday. I was out bush running around on the station doing a bit of work, and so it's just a bit of a mashup. I talk about the vehicle and that sort of stuff. I cover a fair bit, but I also just cover some general stuff on the station. So it's a bit of a mix-up. Tomorrow the plan is to head out in the car, do a full video on the vehicle, get some drone shots. A mate's going to come with me and he's going to do all the filming, so I can just focus on driving the car. And we're going to take it to some sand dunes, maybe a creek, maybe try and find some gnarly hill climbs, chuck the lockers in, see what it can and can't do, what it likes, what it doesn't. So that's the plan for tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that video as well. So I had a pretty good day yesterday, for sure. I even hit a massive bird, an eagle or a hawk, I'm not too sure. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, as always, thanks very much for watching. Leave a comment and have a good day. See ya. Well folks, I'm out on the station today, out and about, and just thought I'd just cruising around. I thought I may as well film and make a bit of a YouTube video and just show you how, you know, what the country's looking like. We've had a heap of rain, none of it was really forecast, pretty blessed. As you would have seen, some of the creeks around, we've got, you know, heaps of water laying around. So just a few weeks ago, like, we had enough feed and that, but it was, you know, very hot and dry. We've had so many bloody fires and strong winds and everything not helping. And now, yeah, she's looking pretty good. So a lot of the district has had rain. I hope, you know, a mob of the people and places and stations and whatever that have, you know, got burnt. Some got hit pretty hard. So I hope they've copped some of this, you know. It's pretty beautiful day out here. This thing's doing well. I had to drive through some mud and water today and cringed a little bit, but hey, that is what it's for. So, but yeah, she's going good. It's sitting on about between 14 and 14.2 litres per 100 for fuel economy, which, you know, it's not really loaded up. I don't think it'll change heaps, but you know, it is what it is. Shaped like a brick, and it is a 4.5 litre V8, so it's not going to be as economical as some of your, you know, later model, smaller capacity engines. I've actually had a few questions about fuel economy, and like one bloke said that he thinks that it's a lot of fuel, which it is a fair whack, and his Triton uses a lot less. Well, of course it does. I mean there's nothing really to say. Of course it does. But yeah, she's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. Hello big boy, what's going on mate? Just wanted to come say good day, show the people. Black Angus bull, big fella, nice and quiet. You're just chilling in the shade, eh? Tough life. Look at all this nice green grass you got to eat now. Hope you're keeping the bloody cows happy. You're right, mate. Sorry to disturb ya. Just wanted to say good day. So today I'm out here doing the rounds and checking all the watering points, all the bores. There's a trough over there in that set of yards, and basically make sure, you know, if there's no water in the trough, then something's wrong. Make sure there's no leaks and all that sort of stuff. This bore runs on solar. As you can see, there's no cattle here, and it looks like this tank's actually been overflowing. Here's the overflow around this side. You know, because we've had all this rain, it's always good when it rains. All the cattle sort of nick off into those hills. There's rock holes and water holes and all sorts of stuff along them.
and that's where they'll be for a while, just grazing, eating grass out in the wild, drinking water. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Other side of this tank here, and lately when I've been coming through, there's some dingoes that stay under there on this side of the tank, under those windmill fan blades over there. You probably can't really see them. 4 or 5 hanging out here, and you know, they're not here now, and that's the difference. Like, they started rocking up, obviously looking for water. It's getting real hot and it was super dry, and now we've had a mob of rain. They're just nowhere to be seen. They'll be out in the scrub somewhere drinking all the surface water and whatnot. Oh shit, we got a bloody serious crossing here, folks. Oh, I left the traction control on. Yeah, that was my track going through there. I went through it and then reversed and did it again just to show you, because I mean, why not? A little bit of mud. Man, I'm enjoying driving this vehicle out here, eh? So much. Like I've said before, there's nothing wrong with you know, any other ute. Doesn't matter what you're driving. You know, for me, it's such a big difference jumping out of something like a Hilux or, you know, any medium duty, you know, sort of twin cab ute. I don't really get anything out of them. They don't excite me, but these are just so good. They're just so exciting and bloody fun to drive, you know, and so hands-on. So yeah, these are just so raw and rugged, and just a lot of fun to drive, I reckon. The sound the engine makes is bloody great. Absolutely love it. So this little track we're driving now, it's just a single cut track at the moment. It's supposed to be 2 wide, but we've got to do that soon. Driving along the southern range here, and yeah, everything's pretty bloody good. It's always good after a big rain, takes the pressure off the bores and all that sort of stuff. Oh, hear all that mud flicking up. Beautiful. He's running away. You bloody put this tree across the road, didn't you? Jesus. Right. These bloody cows, I tell you, are always playing tricks. Oh yeah, pretty good day so far. It's not always like this. Usually summertime's pretty hell. Water dramas and stuff going dry and cattle running amok, so you kept pretty busy, eh? Figured this out too. I didn't really show you in the last video, but you can change the theme. Look out. Now we're getting flash for the 70. So I don't know, the white looks pretty clean. Not too shabby. One thing I did fail to mention, but a bloke did comment about the sound system. Yes, the speakers are friggin' trash. My phone's probably better, I'm not even kidding. I mean, if you've got music on and you're just listening away and a couple of hours goes by, you just get used to it. But it's trash. Like I probably will. I dare say I will down the road. It's not something I'm going to do straight away. I probably will put in some decent speakers and whatnot, because I do absolutely love my music and my podcast when I'm driving. Another thing I did this morning, these mirrors were a bit loose, so under the actual mirror itself, under here is 2 screws. That's how you tighten the actual mirror up, and there's obviously a big bolt here and another one underneath for this solid little frame here. I tightened everything up and they're great. I did smash a tree on that side earlier, and it moved the mirror, but I moved it back, and yeah, we're all good. But look at this scenery, eh? I just come across a couple of few camels. Now look, usually we would shoot these. I don't have the rifle with me. You know, it's just feral animal management, and that's what you got to do. When I do shoot them, when I can, I get meat off them, and it's beautiful. It's some of the nicest, leanest meat you'll ever eat if you cook it properly. They got ribs the size of dinosaur ribs, and the back straps are absolutely beautiful. So it's just about managing the numbers. The government's done, you know, massive culls before. There's the biggest mob running around. Same with wild horses, and you know, a lot of people think it's cruel and think it's this and that, who aren't really educated on the matter, and I do get where they're coming from, but it would be good if those people could come out and see what it's like in the drought, because when there's hundreds of thousands running around and it's not raining, you know, it gets nasty. And that's the thing, like the numbers need to be managed, or else they would literally take over Australia. So, you know, there's always plenty running around. I do like them. Like, I don't love shooting them. It's just what you got to do. But they do provide a bloody good feed, and it's really good meat, you know. I don't know if you guys would want to see something like that one day. Maybe I could, you know, drop one and get some meat off it. Tell me what you guys reckon, if you'd be interested or not. Trough's nice and full, so that's always good. Look at that. I don't think it could get any more full. That's crazy. There's been a fair bit of debris on the roads, like, you know, off trees and that. Must have, with the storms and whatever we've been having coming through. Big winds, I suppose. The other week when I was cruising around, after a storm, there was a heap of trees down on fences and that I had to fix. So yeah, it's just that time of year. Oh, she's nice. We're at the next place. I want to just get me bloody gummies out of here and clean the trough over here. This is what I'm running at the moment. This is the setup. Just like the proper necessities that I need in here. And some Jerry's, tool bag there. And yeah, so just some Stilsons, probably can't see in there, to fix pipelines, and some fencing gear and some wire, a drag chain, and just hand tools. Just for now. I'm gonna get this canopy real soon, and then, you know, and that King Chrome toolbox will be back on here. So yeah, this works for now, good enough. Yeah, basically I'll undo that bung there. I've already cracked it. Drain all this out. This is a trough broom, and just scrub the shit out of this, get rid of all this stuff. This has sort of occurred since we've had all this rain. As you can see, there's like no cattle around. They're all off in the hills drinking, so we'll get it cleaned up for them for when they get back. It's all cleaned up too. It's a good spot to have a little swim and beer in summertime. Beautiful. She goes, all the green shit nicking off out of that hole there, and scrub the sides, clean the bottom, and she'll be good to go. Clean as a whistle. Beauty. Seat covers in here ASAP, because these are going to get trashed very quick. I was meant to have seat covers fitted and they didn't bloody do it, so I'm a bit disappointed with them. They couldn't get them in or something, so pretty wild about that. But anyway, I'm going to switch traction control off, and like all the way off. I want to see what, like, you know, I drive through a lot of sand out here, so I want to see if I can notice the wheel track difference. When I bought my 2008, it actually had wheel spacers on the back. After a while I took them off and put the different offset rims. I had -50 on the back and zeros up front. I mainly did it for the looks, to be honest, as shallow as that is, just because I didn't like the scrawny back end. That's the only reason I did it. I'm going to leave this car like pretty stock for a while, like I said it is. So I don't know, I just want to see. This isn't a full-on test, I know that, but you know, I just want to see if it's noticeable, or just on this little bit of sand dunes I'm going to drive. I might actually take it for a good drive and test it properly, and you know, drive it in some really deep sand in a creek, try and find, like, make some ruts, try and find some ruts and see what it's like. But so far driving it around, I don't know, it seems fine. But for now, so I want to do a proper test, because I do know that you know, it is a thing and it does affect a lot of people. I watched one of Andrew St. Pierre White's videos the other day of him talking about it at 4x Overland on his channel, and he was talking about, because you know, he's owned a 76, various 78, 79, so he's driven all the different wheelbases, and he was saying that some are worse than others. I can't quite remember which ones he was saying. I think when he did the Canning stock group, he was talking about the 78, so the Troopy, and how it was very nice. I think he might have said in his opinion that the 79 was the worst. So anyway, might do some thorough testing on that. I just hit a bloody beautiful big bird. Ugh. I think he's still in there too. Oh, it looks alright. Be free! Far out. Hope he looks fine. Man, he was jammed in there. So we hit our first thing. How's she holding up? Ah, mate, she'll be right. She's a bulldozer. It looks like it might have hit here, some marks, and then ended up sitting down here. So I don't know, must have knocked the wind out of him and he took off. He's up in that tree there. Sorry, mate. Well, you can call me soft if you want, but I don't want to drive in there. Nah, it's just no dramas. We can poke around here, you know. I mean, if you don't need to get your rig muddy and filthy and whatever, I guess it's always best not to. Not as exciting, but better for maintenance and whatever underneath, and greasing and all that sort of stuff as well. Well, I'm in the red dunes and I'm driving these ruts, and so far the wheel track is not bothering me one bit. I wouldn't even be able to tell you it was different if I didn't know. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't jump on me and say, oh, you've barely driven it. Yes, I know. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying all the people out there that say it's a problem are wrong. I'm just mucking around and having a look and just seeing what I think. And those ruts weren't the deepest. Again, I will take it to some, you know, proper ruts and deep sand and have another play. I mean, I'm not planning on swapping out the rear diff. There's no way I'm gonna do that. If I do think it's a problem and I hate it, I will just put some different offset rims on and that'll be that. Open sesame. So we will start this engine up. This pumps water to the tanks over there. And she's just a little hand crank. You stick that in there and you round and round and round. Here's a little decompression lever. Hold that up while you're turning the crank over. And you let that go. Once you got a bit of speed up, let the decompression go. Give this another wind and pull it out. She cranks over. I'd show you how to start it, but I didn't bring me bloody tripod or anything, and I was going to try and set it up in the car, the camera, but it's all too hard. We have water, folks. So if you start that engine and you got no water coming out here, obviously that means big dramas. This is the borehole, poly pipe running to that tank, and there's a pipe down here called lay flat. It's a flexible pipe and it's hooked onto a pump. It's pretty easy these days. If something's not working, a lot of these you can pull out by hand if they're shallow enough. If not, you just hook the car up with a chain and like a D-shackle or something here, and you pull it out. You usually put a little clamp mechanism around here, around this casing, and with a roller on it, and then you just roll the pipe over it. But back in the day, it used to be obviously a windmill pump in here with rods and column that went under the ground, and if you had dramas with them, it was, you know, could have took you a couple of days to fix it. Big job pulling all that out with the motor car. And this engine used to run what was called a mono, so belts off of that would, the belts run that way off of that obviously, and then they would turn and run this way, and it would, a different style of pump with rods as well, same as the windmill, but different style of pump down the bottom, what's called a pigtail, and that would bring the water up. Anyway, it's a bit complicated. I'm probably not explaining it that well, but you get the gist. I wish I bought me bloody tripod so I could jump in front of the camera and have a bit better yarn with you, but I just can't believe how green it is out here. So this little paddock here, this is where I just came from and started that engine over there. It's only a small paddock. It's like a cooler paddock or a holding paddock. So when you do your muster and you bring all the cattle in from way out in the scrub, bring them into this yard here, let them settle down before you do any processing with them. And then you'll just sort of open this gate and, you know, leave them in here overnight. Let them quieten down, you know, have a bit of a feed, and let the calves find their mums after the big walk, big muster, and get a drink and whatnot. Let them drip in and out of here all night and have a bit of a drink, and then you usually, like, if they've been in here overnight, for example, or for the day, you'll end up coming in here with some motorbikes or horses or whatever. We don't run horses, but some people do still. And then you'll bring them in here, yard them up, and then process them. Ear marking, tagging, branding, truck them out of here, and that sort of stuff. So, you know, it's good to see these paddocks replenishing. They're going to have lots of nice healthy feed for when we get cattle back in here for a muster. I didn't even sort out a dual battery for this. That's usually what I do with my rigs. I love running a, you know, Ingle, and said I'd never go back to an Esky, but look at that. I got my little lunchbox down there, and I didn't even freeze up water bottles because dickhead, so I got my lunch in there with some frozen peas, keeping it cold. But that's going to do for now. I'll sort out a dual battery one day, and probably have it mounted in the canopy, I reckon. That's what I wanted to do anyway. I mean, there's not much room under the bonnet, as you saw in the previous video, but I want to keep that clear anyway. I was never going to put it in there. So probably just a good maybe 100 amp hour lithium, just one lithium battery in there, red arc charger, you know, maybe a bit of a management system, nothing too crazy, and probably a little inverter just to charge like power tool batteries. And I'm not going to be running, like, I don't know, coffee machines or sandwich presses or whatever, so that'll probably do it. And I just run a solar blanket, so which I usually in the Hilux I just hook up to the battery with alligator clips, but at least, like, when I get this dual battery set up in the canopy, I'll have it so I can just hook it up with the Anderson plug fitting, nice and quick and easy and simple. Good way to do it. That solar blanket I've got is just a Ridge Rider 200 watt from Super Cheap. They're bloody good, eh? I've had it for a while, but I haven't used it heaps. I have used it. I did a trip up to Lorella Springs last year and was there for about a week and used it, and it's so good, eh? 200 watts, so, you know, it'll put in up, I think for us it was putting in around 10 amps average and iron, I can't remember, something like that, but it was bloody, it would top up the battery so quick. So yeah, they make some good gear. Right, what do we got here? Fucking hell, we might have to chuck both lockers in for this. Nah, not really, just joking. Far out, look how green it is. Hello my mamas, I've just pulled up, look how happy they are to see me, come running in. Where's all your babies? What, have you left them out in the bush somewhere? Come on now. G'day mamas. Mwah. I'll just jump out and show you this thing here. So there's a big dam in there amongst those trees. You might remember the holding paddock I was talking about earlier at that other bore. Well, this is a pretty big holding paddock that goes around this dam. So same thing, when you muster, stick the cattle in here, let them chill out, and then put them into the yards to process them. There was some cattle in here the other day that weren't supposed to be in here, so we just put this trap in. I set the trap the other day, so basically anything that's in here can walk out. So as you can see, there's tracks on the ground. So whatever's in here looks like it has come out. So basically they'll walk out, their belly will touch on here, push this open, they walk straight out. It closes behind them, and then they can't get back in. So it's a good thing to use if, you know, if and when you need cattle out of a certain area, or even if you want to trap them into the holding paddock. Or you might set, like there's another one of these, a bit of a different style, on the eastern side of this yard, cattle yard. And basically they walk in but can't walk out. So it's a good way to do mustering. You know, you can set the trap, and then when they come in for a drink in the afternoon, they come in and drink and can't get back out. This gate here in the corner you'll open up, so they'll trap in, get a drink, and then come into this holding paddock. And then you might trap for like 3 days, and then like you might get 90% of the cattle out of this big area. And then you could come in with some quads and a chopper and just clean up and get the stragglers that didn't trap. Some of the cattle don't like traps and they won't go in there. So yeah, it's a good efficient way of doing it. Right, so I just rocked up to another bore and the tank's overflowing down near the trough. So I might shut this solar off. Hopefully that's the right decision. So I just want to show you something. There's second gear. I'm going to hit third. I'm doing 20k an hour, 20k an hour. Let's put the boot into it, go around this corner. Away we go. So, you know, that's why I like this engine. You can drive it so lazy. If you tried to do that in the Hilux, it would have nearly stalled. It might have rolled out, it might have done it, but it, you know, I mean, it wouldn't. You'd have to go back to at least second gear for that. So it's just, yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's cool. That's the difference. Well, this might just about do it, folks. I reckon I'm going to sign off. But look at that, lap time. 7 hours, 48 minutes. That's how long she's been on today. Trooping along. Rightio. Well, look, if you've watched this far, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys, you know, watching this. I hope you're enjoying. Thanks to the subscribers, it means a lot. And it's a fun little community we're creating. And I love chatting with you guys in the comments. Even if you're salty, it's all good. So thank you, have a good day. So one more thing before I go. Been driving around on the station, obviously. Sitting on 80k's right now. I don't know why the camera won't focus, but the average fuel economy right there is 13.8 litres it's dropped to, which is not too bad. Be interesting to see what it ends up sitting on and averaging out to in like the next month or so. I was getting 11.5 litres per 100 in the Hilux I just traded. So, you know, a bit of weight on that, and same size tyres as stock, but a lot heavier. The Mickey Thompsons I was running, 11.5 per 100, not too bad. Obviously you step straight into one of these, it's going to go up, and that's just, you know, it's not shocking and it's not a surprise. It is what it is. Would I like to take a break? No. Well, about to hit 1000k. About a 12-hour run-in today, and it's sitting on 13.6 now, so it's come down a fair bit. And we're on a highway right now doing 110, so I mean, it's pretty good. 1000k. Let's go. yeah, well, there you go. 11 hours and 49 minutes today. Good run for the old girl.